Who's that? Tracy, thanks so much. Okay, so I was talking, but you were reading my lips. Did you guys get all that?
No.
Okay, so just I'll say what I was saying because maybe lip reading isn't so easy. Thank you for your patience for this morning. Our Wi-Fi is being upgraded, and the gentleman came to check the system before class, and he's going to come back to upgrade it after class, but while checking the system, he had to turn it off, and then we weren't able to turn it back on in such a timely manner. So we are on now, and I'm so glad to be with you guys. And I look forward to this being a nourishing practice for us all. Rebecca is here to help me toggle between the standing and then the floor poses, so she'll be going back and forth for us on that. I will move eventually, Robin. Yeah, but I'm going to be standing on this yoga mat behind me. So right now I'm sitting where I can see you guys with my reading glasses. That means I can see you a little bit better. I will not be staying on this physio ball during the whole practice. Yeah. Okay, please take a comfortable seat. So glad that we can be here together. And again, thank you for your patience with our sign-in process this morning. I'm going to focus class today on the first chakra. So when you take a seat, close your eyes and bring your attention down to the base of your pelvis. And bring awareness also down to where you are making contact with the ground beneath you. Invite your body to become more still so that your mind can do the same. And when your mind feels less likely to intrude or hijack or disrupt you, then send it down into the places where you have physical connection with the ground beneath you. And then also send your breath down there. So even though the lungs are in the torso, and of course the air doesn't actually breathe down into your sitting bones, I'm going to ask you to pretend that you can inhale down to your sitting bones and your connection with the ground beneath you. And then exhale and send the sensations of the exhale even further down into the earth, as if you're connecting to your taproot. With your in-breath, send your attention down. These are the sensations of the present moment that tell you you're simply sitting here, just now, with all of us for this morning's practice. When you exhale and you send the exhale breath further down into the earth, consider that to be your taproot as a person, but also as a yogi. So all your prior practices, those are a part of your taproot. Your community with whom you're practicing right now, and the communities that you have practiced with previously, they are also part of your taproot. And the tradition of yoga itself is also our taproot. So you inhale and send your attention down, connect at the base chakra. And then exhale and go beyond your own physical sensations down to the taproot that connects you to the earth. And please do that for 5 breath cycles more. And try to sense the quality of the breath, the attitude of your breath, and the pace of the breath. When you're breathing in like this, what is the quality? Smooth or bumpy, consistent or inconsistent? What is the pace of the breath? Between inhale and exhale, are there differences in the pace of the breath? And what is the attitude in the breath? Is it kind or coercive? Inquisitive or demanding? Or some other quality? We do use the first few minutes of our yoga practice to become centered, to find our place here. The process of becoming centered relies on the guna called tamas, T-A-M-A-S, the guna that is stabilizing. We also are relying on the first chakra, the earth element. And please bring your hands together at your heart. And since we are here practicing together, we're going to chant Sahana Bhavatu, using the word Saha, which means together. We're practicing together. You may sing with me at home there. You may also choose just to listen if that's your preference. Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vivishavai Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vivishavai Sahana Bhavatu Sahana Bhunaktu Saviryam Karavavai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vivishavai Om Shanti Om. Thank you everyone for being here. So nourishing to be together. You may bow your head to your heart. And then we'll begin by standing up actually in the practice. I want to give you the pre and post. So we're going to do an exercise that's familiar to you. We'll see how it feels. And then we're going to work with the pelvic floor and the sitting bones and the first chakra. Let me turn my camera up a little bit. There we go. So if you come to standing and then just explore your forward bend when you come down to Uttanasana, I'd like you to get a sense of how is this for you today? How are the sensations of your Uttanasana today? And keeping in mind that these sensations reflect so many things. The sensations reflect how hydrated you are, how well you slept, your choices in nutrition yesterday or last night. They also reflect your sports, your patterns, your habits, and possibly if you've been a little bit more sedentary because of the shelter-in-place requirements, you're also noticing that. And there's a deeper and smaller muscle relationship happening at the pelvic floor and where your thigh bones meet your hip sockets. So that's also involved. Just take about 3 more breath cycles to feel what is happening in your Uttanasana today. You're just listening in, kind of getting a snapshot of what is happening there. And also how your feet feel in relationship to the ground beneath you. And then please rise up to standing and humor me if you will. You're going to take a yoga block like this, one of these things, place it on the floor in this position. And we're going to come down to kneel so that when you sit on this yoga block, you're actually kneeling on it. And Let me spotlight Rebecca's computer if I can find it. She just walked away for a moment. Yeah, I'll have to have her come back. So in the meantime, let me see if I can turn this down a little bit lower. I'll go as a profile. There we go. Okay, so when you sit on this block, let me go as a profile. I'm placing it like this, and I am sitting on this. Those of you who know me or have been to the yoga studio, you know that we've done this before. So when I sit on it, I am trying to have the sitting bones go on either side of the block, right? So something like that. And then what we're going to do are these gentle pelvic tilts where you roll the pelvis backwards and you're touching the sides of the sacrum at the bottom of the sacrum. And then you're going to roll the pelvis forward and you go over the sitting bones a little bit. And when you're going back and forth like this, you're just sensing like there might be some tender places where the muscles insert right alongside the inner edge of your sitting bones. Yeah. And if they are tender, please know you're not alone. And if it's asymmetrical, that's also not unusual. We're going to roll back another time here. And since we started kneeling, you have a certain amount of pressure on the pelvis for this forward tilt and then this backwards tilt. And don't sit so far back on your block that when you roll forward, you feel like you're running into the pubic bone. That's not necessary at the moment. Do it one more time, roll backwards. And then last time, roll up to center. And just see what happens if you roll down to your left slightly and then down to your right slightly. So you are on the inner edge of the sitting bones, and it is possible that one side is more tender than the other. So that gentle bit of rolling down side to side, make that rhythmic so it could feel like a wave in the ocean, not staccato, but smooth. As you roll down to your left, you get the inner edge of the left sitting bone. As you roll down to your right, you'll get the inner edge of the right sitting bone. And then come back to center, and now step your feet out so you're sitting on this awkward little bench. Place your feet so that they're a little bit wider, maybe a tiny bit forward if you need to keep your balance, and roll yourself slightly back so you're touching now the edge of the block at the middle part of the sacrum. And then roll yourself forward and up, and if possible, roll a tiny bit more forward. And yes, those are the sitting bone insertions that you're feeling. The muscles insert right there. And then roll yourself back, maybe about 1 or 2 degrees into the sacrum, maybe 3 or 4 degrees. And then roll yourself up and forward. And if the sensations are very strong and you feel like singing opera, please do. I can't hear you. So when you're rolling front to back there, allow that to be what it is for you. We're not going to do it forever. The whole class is not going to be here on the sitting bones for the next hour. So know that these sensations are also temporary. And let's roll back one more time so that you can feel the base of the sacrum, the next part of the sacrum, maybe up to the middle of your sacrum. And then roll forward slowly one more time. So you're heading towards the tailbone. Now the sitting bones now towards the front of your sitting bones. And then rest your hands and see if you can, without falling off your block, go a tiny bit side to side. That means that you're going to have to keep your balance from your lower belly muscles. And as you roll side to side, notice if one sitting bone is more tender than the other. That is the case for me also. Ironically, the sitting bone for my right hip, where I have my hip replacement, is much easier to work with than my left hip. That's just what it is this morning. Now, if you'll humor me, I said we won't do this forever in the class. We're going to do one more position. I'm going to ask Rebecca to spotlight her camera. So now I am sitting with my feet in Baddha Konasana. And I come a little bit forward, and you can rock slowly side to side. And again, you're not sitting so far forward on the block or so far back that you're running into your pubic bone here. I want this to be for your sitting bones. If you feel like singing higher notes, that's okay. Sahana bhavatu, sahana bhunaktu, saviryam karava, vai Tejasvina Vanitamastu Ma Vidvisha Vai. Okay, and then please roll up to sitting in your Baddha Konasana, and let's see if you can balance. Balancing is going to be an internal process here, and it's okay if you lose your balance from time to time. You don't have that far to go to the floor, but do see what you can do to balance using the pelvic floor, the deep low belly, your breath, your sense of humor, and your concentration. And then bring your hands to your heart, see if you can keep balancing. Okay, and we're going to release and rise up to standing. And let's see now, how does this influence your Uttanasana? So you can place yourself in Uttanasana once more, bow forward, and see what it's like for you when you now come down. And check and see the quality of your flexibility, the limberness of the body, and maybe some of the sensations you had last time have just dissipated. As you check in on these things, also notice the experience your feet have in connecting with the ground beneath you. And let's see if that feels any better for your feet. And then please rise up to standing for one more thing with your block, and then we'll get into some vigorous movement. You need the floor camera, actually. Place your foot so that you're going to go on the corner of the block. So I've got my block turned a little bit on the diagonal. Let me face the camera directly for a moment. So I'm putting my foot on the diagonal of the block. Right, so I've got my other foot for balance, and I want you to take the toes of your right foot over the front of the block and get a chance to massage the center of the arch of your foot. Right up close to where the arch begins, just behind your toes. Curl the toes down, and then flare the toes forward and up. And then take them down, and then flare your toes forward and up. And repeat that a few times. So you're exercising the muscles of your foot. You're also applying pressure to an acupuncture point called kidney 1. In English, that means bubbling spring. It is said that when we stand in mountain pose, then this bubbling spring is what's nourishing the body from the earth up. So once more, flare the toes forward and start to slide your foot over that diagonal spot on the block to the middle of your arch, and then head towards the back of your arch as if you had to stand on a high heel shoe. Most of you know I've never worn high heel shoes except for that one time. So if you're standing on the high heel shoe version now, so your right foot is the one that's in the experience, and see if you can let some weight go to the back of the arch right in front of your heel. At the same time, you might be stretching the toes of your feet in this position. And I'm going to ask you now to step off of your block and just come to mountain pose briefly and try to feel what's the difference between your two feet. And then check and see how does that influence your Uttanasana. And then let's rise up and do the other side of the activity. So what you're going to do here is now stand behind your block. It's easier to get started that way. And place the little diagonal spot of your left foot onto the block. So you're right behind where the arch begins, just behind the toes. You can use the other foot to keep your balance. Curl your toes down. And then flare them forward and up. Do that about 5 times really deliberately. You breathe in and breathe out. These activities here are really meant to support the remaining part of your practice today. So we're touching these myofacial points, these very important acupuncture points, and the communication from your feet to your hips and your pelvis. So one more time, curl the toes down, and then flare your toes forward and up. And start the process of sliding your right foot on the diagonal of the block. You might have to sort of wiggle it down, which is what I'm doing right now. This is my left foot. I should have said left foot. So when you slide down, go to the place where you're at the back of the left arch. So you're standing as if you're on a high heel shoe. And right there, let some weight come to the back of the arch, the front of your heel. And breathe into those places as well. Okay, and then as you next exhale, place your feet back in mountain pose and check and see how that's feeling. And then explore it in your Uttanasana as well. What is that like? Notice any differences for you and make a little note for yourself. If there are differences, these could be practices that you come back to during the day to also alleviate the tension that builds at the pelvic floor and to remind ourselves of our connection with the earth beneath us. And now please rise up to standing in preparation for Surya Namaskar. In the sun salutation this morning, I'm going to be doing some powerful breathing, more vigorous, not chaotic, but a little bit more vigorous. So please step to the front of your yoga mat and bring your 2 blocks with you. And come into mountain pose. When you come to mountain pose, place your feet so they're hip distance apart and also so they're parallel. And join your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And try to sense the difference now as you stand in mountain pose. What is the quality of mountain for you? What is the quality of connection to the earth? Now with your inhale, sweep your arms up, root down into your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, come to chair pose. Inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Exhale, Uttanasana, come forward and down. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, bend your knees. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, push down to rise up. Inhale to open. Exhale to the heart. Yes, that is a little bit faster. Let's do it again. Inhale. Chair pose. Inhale, rise. Uttanasana. Heart forward, inhale. Bend your knees. Inhale, chair. Exhale, push down to go up. Inhale to open. Exhale to the heart. Again, inhale, arms up. Chair. Upward hands. Uttanasana, exhale. Heart forward. Bend your knees. Chair pose. Rising up. Inhale to open. Exhale to the heart. Now same thing slowly. And I'm going to say breathe in and breathe out as we practice. So raise the arms. Breathe in. Chair pose. Breathe out. Rise up. Breathe in. Forward. Breathe out. Heart forward. Breathe in. Bend your knees. Breathe out. Chair pose. Breathe in. Rising up. Breathe out. Opening up. Breathe in to the heart. Breathe out. yourself to stand really still. Now we'll do the full sun salutation. Inhale, raise your arms. A little more vigorous again. Bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale to rise, upward hands. Uttanasana. Inhale, heart forward. Left foot back, Anjaneyasana. Inhale to rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, downward dog. Exhale, left foot forward, right knee down. Anjaneyasana, inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, step forward, heart forward. Uttanasana. Rising up to the heart. Again, inhale up. Exhale, chair. Rise up, inhale. Exhale. Heart forward, inhale. Left knee back. Anjaneyasana. Exhale, descend. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale in, downward dog pose. Left foot forward, right knee down. Anjaneyasana. Descending. Right foot forward, heart forward. Exhale to bow. Inhale to rise. Exhale to the heart. Stand really still. Allow your body to breathe you. And sense your connection from your hips to your leg bones, to your feet, to the ground. Now we're going to slow that down, and I'll be saying, breathe in and breathe out for you. As you practice this, of course, my pace cannot be suited to everyone, so adjust for yourself, but also make an effort so we could have a sense we are practicing together. Here's the inhale, upward hands pose. Breathe in, chair pose. Breathe out, rise up. Breathe in, forward and down. Breathe out, forward. Breathe in, left foot back, knee down. Breathe out, rise up. Breathe in, plank. Breathe out, downward dog. Breathe in, downward dog. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Left foot forward. Breathe out. Rising up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Right foot forward. Breathe in. Bowing. Breathe out. Rising up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Allow yourself to stand really still. And please release your hands. Open your eyes. I'm going to face forward for the next part of our sequence. So we're just going to change the camera, I think, or keep it with me if you can. So that's just a way of rhythmically moving faster and then slowing it down. So we're trying to adjust the physiological system, which we're all beholden to. It is our inner ecology, after all. So now what we're going to do, when we step back, we're going to hold a lunge pose for some time. And you're going to see these different arm movements that go with the breath. So keeping your right foot forward first, step your left foot back to what you would think of as your crescent lunge in the sun salutation. So face both hips straight on like this. Aim your right knee in line with your third toe. Lift the pubic bone up and root your tailbone down. And try to sense how you used your right foot on the floor on the block earlier and then on the floor. Like press the 5 toes down and float your inner right arch up, maybe the outer arch too. And now please make fists like this. So here's the practice. We're going to do a brisk inhale like this. And then we do an exhale and we push the hands out. And then we'll do it again. So it's going to be again. 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 Once more. Now, turn your palms out. Inhale slowly, smoothly, from the base of your belly to the mid-torso, up to your heart and to your collarbones. And exhale, like a straw, come to the heart. Gaze down past your fingertips towards the earth. Let your body and your mind get very quiet. And then please step forward with your left foot. We'll do the other side. And we're going to repeat this. You don't have to be good at it right away. Take your right foot back. And as you step back with the right foot, use the toes if you can. Otherwise, place your heel down if needed. Make your fists. Okay, ready? Again. Once more. Now turn your palms face out and inhale. Slowly low belly, mid belly, the upper belly, the heart and the collarbones. And then like a straw. Gaze down past your fingertips. Hold steady like the earth. The word for earth in Sanskrit is kshama, K-S-A-M-A, kshama. And then step forward with your right foot. There's your mountain pose. Check and see how that's feeling right now. And in your mountain pose, let the feet be a part of your mountain pose intrinsically, but don't forget the pelvic floor and the tailbone as well. Okay, and now what we're going to do is repeat that activity so that we have the experience now. We can make it a little bit more robust, right? So step forward in your mountain pose. Keeping your left foot planted, take your right foot back first this time. And there you are, make your fists. Okay, so that's going to be a robust inhale and a strong exhale. On the inhale, you're kind of charging your system up. On the exhale, you're pushing down the mental noise so that you're able to remember the earth beneath you. So here we go, we'll do it 6 times. Turn your palms out. Slowly inhale, lower belly, mid belly, heart, collarbones, raise up. And then like you're exhaling through a straw, come to the heart. Now gaze down past your fingertips towards the floor, towards the earth. And if possible, you can close your eyes. Use your left toes, left heel, left inner arch, left outer hip, the back of your left hip, the pelvic floor, right leg, right toes, your breath, your mind. And then open your eyes and please step your right foot forward to meet your left foot, mountain pose. Balance on your right leg, step your left foot back. When you step it back, try to have your feet almost like you're on cross-country skis, not like you're on a tight wire, but hip distance apart cross-country skis. Remember, we're charging up the system on the inhale. We're pushing the mental noise to the side on the exhale. And by the way, your mental noise, you're not pushing it onto your housemates or your family members. We're just dissipating it. We give it back to the earth. The word kshama, K-S-A-M-A, means earth, but also means fortitude, forbearance, resilience. 6 times. Here we go. Turn your palms out. Inhale to go slowly, low belly, mid back, the heart, upper back, collarbones. Exhale like a straw, hands to the heart. Bring your gaze down past your fingertips towards the earth. And see if you can internalize a sense of support where you're able to close your eyes. The word kshama means earth. The word forbearance recognizes how the earth forbears all that's coming and going. She's ever adapting. She has forbeared that which we have done as a species, instead of disregarding or taking advantage of the ecology on which we're completely dependent. Kshama also means resilience. It's a quality of ever renewing resilience. You may quietly open your eyes and step your left foot forward to your mountain pose and pause again in mountain and see how things are feeling for you. Invite yourself to stand really still and to feel the quality of mountain. Like the high point of the mountain, all these weather patterns have come and gone. The mountain remains steady. The low point of the mountain, meeting the earth, remembering its mountain self comes from a much larger resource. The mountain doesn't feel like the mountain is doing it all by itself. And then you can quietly open your eyes and please come down to the floor. And I'm going to ask you, if you have a foam roller, you could use your foam roller. If you don't have a foam roller, you can use a couple of folded blankets for what I'm going to be showing. And I'll ask Rebecca to switch to the floor-based camera so that you can see it. If you don't have 2 blankets or a foam roller, you can firmly roll up your yoga mat to do what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to make these 2 blankets. I think that most of you have blankets at home, at least what you've said to me. So this might be the most common way that we're doing this. If you don't have a foam roller at home, we have like 30 of them here, but they're getting lonely. So you take the blanket like this, and then fold it in half, length to length, and then do that again. So you have this kind of blanket, like so. And then you do the same with the other blanket. You're going to open it up, fold it in half, length to length, like this, and stack that so that you have these two items together, like so. Okay, let me wait for you to get that put together. I'm going to move my glasses out of the way. This is my hot tea with coconut oil, lemon juice, and honey. Some of you have asked me for the recipe for that. It's improvised. You can improvise it. So this is going to go like this on the floor now, and you're going to watch me first because otherwise you might get confused. Let me show it at the angle of this camera that's here on the floor. Okay. So I'm going to lie down so that my left outer hip right here, my left outer hip goes on the blanket, right? So I put that, and then I'm going to lie down as if I'm lying in bed and put the left elbow and forearm for the head, like this. And then the practice is you're going to pick up your knees and bring them towards your chest. So you're kind of lying in the fetal position on your left side, but your hips are elevated either on your foam roller, which will be very fascinating, or on these two blankets, or on your tightly rolled yoga mat. Now watch the knees go like this. So you roll back to the back side of the sacrum. You roll forward, take the knees away from the torso, and roll towards the front of your left thigh. And then roll back, roll towards the back of your pelvis. Bring your knees snugly to your chest like this. And start rolling. So that you're going to roll forward, open the knees, roll to your outer left hip and then the front of your left hip. And then as you roll towards the back of your pelvis, snug your knees up to your chest again. Maybe the knees will touch the elbow. And then roll it again through there. So it is a massage for your left outer hip. If you feel your left thigh bone on the blanket, that's probably a good thing. There's lots of small muscle insertions there that your pelvic floor is relying on. When I roll forward with my hips, I'm keeping my upper torso steady. So there's also a little twist into the mid and lower spine. Let's continue. If you're on a foam roller, I'm with you. I did this on my foam roller this morning in my 5 a.m. yoga practice. If you're on the blankets, that can actually be firm enough. In a moment, you're going to find out because we'll pause and see how the left hip feels relative to the right. If you feel like you need something a little bit more vigorous for the last 5 of these rotations, when your knees come up towards your elbow, straighten your legs, and then bend them again and roll through. And check that you, in fact, are not holding your breath. You are breathing. Maybe you even could sing if you had to. This is probably less painful than your block from the beginning of class, and likely a little bit more heating for the whole body. Okay, so twice more. Roll through to the back of the pelvis, knees to your chest. And then roll the knees away from your chest as you come to the front of your left outer hip. And please do that one more time. And then roll your knees onto the blanket. So what you have now, or if you're using your yoga mat, make sure you have enough yoga mat there that your knees can rest on the blanket. You're on your left side. Please float the feet up at the same height as your knees. Stretch your left arm out so you can make a spine twist to your right. I'm going to trust you guys to hold your feet up in this little twist so that they're the same height as your knees. If you need to, you could put a block there, but I think you have the fortitude, the practice experience to hover the feet at the same height as your knees. As you twist to your right, try to get the breath to come down into the right low belly and the ascending colon. You may rotate your head to the right if you haven't already. Please keep the knees stacked, so however far your upper back is able to twist, you are not skewing your knees and hips. And float your right arm up from your twist. Come up and over, and let's pause for a few moments just to kneel and see what's happening with your hips. You might notice some gentle circulation on the left outer hip. You might check your Uttanasana. Let's do that. Any difference for you, Rebecca?
Much.
Okay, let's try the other side. So what you guys can do at home is maneuver yourself about. I'm going to step over my blanket because then you'll be able to see me and I'll be able to see in your direction. So now you're going to put your outer right hip on the foam roller, on the stack of blankets, or on your yoga mat, which is snugly rolled up, and come down onto your right outer shoulder, outer elbow like this. Okay, there's your beginning position. Place your left hand on the floor for support. And we're going to begin by rolling back to the right outer hip now, and the knees come towards your elbow. And then roll, open the knees, come towards the front of your right hip, but keep your upper shoulders and shoulder blades stable. And then roll through, knees up to your chest, and roll again. So I'm really trying to address here the first chakra, the earth element, the fact that we've been sitting a lot, which can feel very sedentary. I know some of you are getting out for your walks, but some of you are working from home and sitting, or you're doing homeschooling and you're sitting, or you're helping other people navigate this process and you're sitting with them. So this I'm trying to address any stagnation at the level of the first chakra. And so if you're feeling your outer thigh bone, either on your mat, on your roller, on your blankets, that's a good thing to be massaging right now. You have muscle insertions that are there. If you want this to be more vigorous again, you have the option of, when your knees roll up towards your left elbow, you could straighten your legs. For some of us, the hamstrings are not going to be so happy about that, so you make the choice based on your capacity. Maybe we'll do this a few times more. Check that you're breathing rhythmically. And then the next time that you're going to roll down, go ahead and find the place where your two legs can stack on the foam roller or on the blankets, which might need to be adjusted as mine do. And then have the feet hover up above the floor just so that they're the same height as your knees. Reach your right arm out and rotate your chest, heart, and head to your left. Please do keep the knees stacked. You're about to find out if your twist is symmetrical. Probably it isn't. That is okay. Breathe into your left low belly. Consider your descending colon. I've been talking with people about digestion a lot too, because when you become sedentary, sometimes your digestion does the same. Or when we're stressed and the pelvic floor and the diaphragm and the gut-brain axis register that stress, for some people, it causes big changes in their digestion. So during your yoga practice, it's a good time to remind your gut-brain axis and your digestive system that you're nourishing, that you're providing kind attention. And then please float your left arm up and across. So what we're going to do here is then roll yourself up and check again on your Uttanasana. One more time, please. Come into your Uttanasana. And we're going to prepare for Shavasana so that we can then have the remainder of class be for pranayama and chanting or singing. So if you had 2 blankets that you folded, you can use them just like this. I'll show you in a moment. You can also use your rolled yoga mat for this. It's probably not long enough for your entire spine and your head, but you could put your block past your rolled yoga mat to make a little Flintstones pillow. I'm saying Flintstones because I pictured that the Flintstones had blocks or rocks for their pillows. If you have a foam roller, I would not recommend that you lie backwards on your foam roller in this Shavasana because we're going to sit in front of, not on the blankets, and the dimension of the foam roller is so thick that really lying backwards over that can be quite uncomfortable. If you do have a way of doing it, if I have taught you how to put blocks under your foam roller, feel free to do that as well. Otherwise, I do recommend something simple, nourishing. When you lie backwards, if you have the 2 blankets set up, reach for the top blanket and curl an inchworm under your head to support your neck. I would like your gaze to go downward towards your pelvis, towards your legs, towards the earth. So in this resting time, keep your gaze down, for every thought that comes does tend to stimulate your eyes, which is not necessary right now. Keep your gaze down. In fact, let's go down past the heart and down past the abdomen and down through your legs to connect with the earth beneath you. And I don't just mean the sensations of touching the earth now, but the real gratitude you can have for the earth's constancy, her kshama, her fortitude. To offer your respect to that, you can let the legs get very heavy. So the earth, she remembers you and welcomes you back. Allow the legs to become deeply heavy, deeply relaxed. Could imagine the legs like when the sand is dropping through the hourglass, 1 grain of sand at a time. The legs, 1 degree at a time, become heavier and heavier with relaxation. As you continue to rest, let your legs become heavier, more deeply at ease. One grain of sand at a time. Imagine your deepest resilience is being restored. You too are comprised of the elements of nature. The earth element welcomes you back home. Welcome this relaxation to become deeper. Yet again, keep your gaze downward, your eyes going past your heart, past the gut, into the hips and pelvis, and your legs, as if the back of the legs could grow these root tendrils into the ground to become re-nourished, reconnected. This time of resting is so essential. For many of us, we have all these new routines, rhythms. Continue to rest. You are integrating the medicine of your practice. You will become more resilient. You will become more grounded. You are being welcomed back home. Keep your gaze downward, past your heart, past the abdomen, past the gut, to the hips, the pelvis, your legs, the root tendrils that connect you to the earth, the root tendrils that connect you to all that is. And then allow your breathing to gently return so you can sense the breath now moving through your body. This version of you, this hopefully less stressed and more grounded version of you. Welcome the breath in. You may gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then you can bend your knees, please. And roll to your side. When you're ready to, then bring yourself up to sitting. In a comfortable position, I'm going to introduce you to my teacher. So what you can do is find a position where you're able to face your camera and to be seated in a stable way for the next several minutes. We are having a guest teacher this morning. Thank you for being with us, Deobrat. So Rebecca's going to highlight Debu's video. So you can see him. He's also very fond of the color orange. Can I unmute? She's also going to unmute Debu because she has control on that. Hi, Debu.
Hi, Rebecca.
You can say hi, Debu.
Yeah, hello everyone. Namaste.
One moment,
from
let me
India.
check that I can hear you. Say again.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear?
Yes. I'm going to mute my microphone so we don't get feedback.
It's better now?
Yes.
Good. So thank you everyone for such a beautiful morning you are having with yoga classes with Sarahjoy. And this is my evening and I'm enjoying to see all of you. And I was seeing all the yoga classes of Sarahjoy, which is always making inspiration to me. Thanks you. And today I will sing a little bit, and you can be, if you want, you can sing with me, or just I start with some notes of the scale. This is Ganesha mantra to all of you. This healing mantra will give you all for good luck. This mantra is very important. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryesu Sarvada. Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. Ganeshaya Namaha. If you want, you can chant with me. Om Ganeshaya Namaha. Now you can repeat. Om Ganeshaya.
Om Ganeshaya
Namaha.
Namaha.
Om Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om Ganeshaya Namaha.
Om
Take deep breath, and if you can hold 30 to 40 seconds of your breathing, in which yoga like pranayam Anulom Vilom, if you can do. It's a very, very nice. In singing, I do like I hold for a long time. Take a deep breath. As a sa, the scale first note, as you have do re mi fa sol la ti do, we have same sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa. Is a 7 chakra. All of them is the 7 chakras there. The sound 7 notes is the 7 chakra. So we can work, as I heard, like she worked on the base chakra, Muladhar. We can say sa. Sa.
Thank you, Devu. Thank you. We're just going to sit for a moment of silence together. Devu is singing a very ancient art form, deeply nourishing in the vibrational sense to the whole body. And let that soak in, let that come to you. And please bring your hands together at your heart. With appreciation that others can be here in real time, that we are actually together, and now we span the globe, because Devu is here with us from Varanasi. Also with appreciation for the time that you've dedicated to being here, so you're supporting yourself and also each other. In the same way, we are supporting our families, our homes, and our communities. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. We now have some time to visit with each other. I will stop the recording.